Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Invite Only. I'm your host, Shawn Flowers. Next to me, I got my boy Freddy. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good.
That's good. This, as you know, is your weekly nerdy news, gossip, gospel, podcast news, gaming news channel. You can listen to this podcast everywhere on Tuesday, 7:30 p.m. Not everywhere, but on Twitch at 7:30 p.m. on twitch.tv/PE Productions. But if you missed the live show, you can watch it tomorrow, Wednesday at 10 a.m. over at youtube.com/play everything. Whew, had to get that out the way. What you been up to, man? How you been?
I've been working. That's it. Going to credential program, become a teacher.
Yeah, today was the first day we hung out in like, I don't even know the last time we hung out. Was
6
it like,
months ago? After My Hero.
No, because we hung out. I feel like we hung out like sometime around like December, January.
It was after. When did the My Hero Academia movie come out?
That wasn't the last time we
It
hung
was.
out. Oh, yeah, because I hit you up and I was
did
going
hit
with
me
my
up,
boy Anthony.
and it just started. The pandemic just started.
Oh,
And we
fuck.
remember the journey we had to do? We went to the theater.
Yeah.
And
Oh, and it was closed that first day?
That was your fault, though.
No, I swear to God, they changed the day. Movie theaters be changing the times. And we were supposed to go see this
man
movie.
told me, hey, this place at 9:30,
Yeah.
we're going to watch the English version, or was it the Japanese version?
I think it was the dub version of the
It
show.
was the dub version. We wanted to watch the sub version.
Yeah.
So we went to the dub version at 9:30 at night. I drove all the way over there. It wasn't that far.
This had to be beginning of pandemic because that's when we didn't want to touch each other. So it had to be like March for sure, maybe. I feel like March is a confident guess.
I would agree.
Anyways, what you been playing? Matter of fact,
Ghost.
before you answer that question, I ask everybody, every guest I have, what type of games do you play?
I'm a proponent of first-person RPG, AAA, like God of War. What else? I played Skyrim a lot.
Yeah.
What else? I used to play sports video games. Don't play those no more. I find them very
You were
boring.
pretty good at UFC. I remember that was your shit at one point.
I tried to play UFC 3 and no, I don't play UFC no more.
Is it just not fun?
I'm not good anymore at UFC.
You lost the sauce.
Oh yeah. Did not have the sauce anymore.
Okay.
UFC 2, I had the sauce.
I heard those games are pretty tough though.
I
the
like
ground game.
I used to like a lot of Blaze Blue.
Okay.
I played
So like Japanese fighters?
Japanese fighters, Xenoverse. We played that a lot. I got really good at that, and I whooped your ass a little bit today.
I mean, relax. We ain't whooped ass. He may got a couple on me, but he ain't whooped nobody. No, I was just playing.
And what else do I play? Some Switch.
No, like what type of so do you playing? Like so you said RPG, Japanese fighters, not sport games anymore, right?
No.
You said you switch. What do you play?
I
on
play
Switch?
Nintendo Switch, Dead Cells sometimes. I used to play Fire Emblem a lot.
What type of games are those?
Like
those are turn based, right?
2D. One's a 2D scroller, kind of like what other game? Like Castlevania almost.
Okay.
And but it's like you only get one life, and once you die, you have to go all the way back to the beginning.
I've never played Castlevania, but I remember when like that game first came out. I think like back when the 360 was out, everyone was like on that shit. Like my whole friends list, and I was just like, "What is this?" And you go to see, and it's like this little like pixel blocky looking game, and I'm like, "What the fuck?" Like,
I never got into those styles. My brother did. That's why I know what Castlevania is. Like I have an idea of old school video games, PlayStation video games that was like. And and Castlevania is a series of many Castlevanias.
Yeah.
So my brother played multiple, but I never got into them. I never got into Mario. I was never into old school games. I played a lot of Madden.
Was your first console a PlayStation?
Super Nintendo.
Super Nintendo.
My dad.
Wow.
Yeah. We used to play the old Mortal Kombat.
That was your first game you played?
Oh.
What is the first game you played?
First game my earliest memory of a video game. I would have to say it's still Super Mario. Like I still have memories of playing it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's probably like you probably don't remember exactly.
I played a lot of unique games that you would never play again because it was only on the Super Nintendo. There was a Michael Jordan video game.
Yeah. I've played weird games too. Like I talk about like playing like this truck simulator game where like you literally drive like a diesel truck. It was like 18 wheelers something like was the name of the game. PlayStation 2.
Oh, PlayStation 2 game.
Yeah. So my first console
All
was the
these
64.
simulator games farming simulator.
They're really
airplane
good though. They're
simulator.
really big. I don't know how big they are, but they're really big. I don't know if it's just like the freedom, because a lot of those games you can kind of do whatever you
I
want.
used to play playing Thunderville, like an amusement park creator game on PlayStation 2.
So what have you been playing lately?
I played Ghost of Tsushima.
Ghost of Tsushima.
Finished it.
How do you feel about it?
It was awesome.
Recommend it?
Absolutely.
So you're no stranger to Sucker Punch, right?
No, I love Infamous. Infamous. That was one of the first games I played on PS3, and then I played all three of them, like in order. So I fell in love with the first Infamous.
What was the third one? Was that
Infamous
Dying
3
Light?
was PS3.
Oh, it was a whole Infamous 3? I thought it was only 1 and 2. I'm stupid.
Was there 2? Oh, 3 Second Son.
Second Son was 3.
Is it?
I
think there's an Infamous 3. If I'm not mistaken. There's a 1 and 2.
I haven't played all the Infamous.
And then there's Second Son. But if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I remember first Infamous though.
That was okay.
Awesome game.
So what was something about Tsushima that, like, was there anything unique about Tsushima? I guess would be my question right now. That kind of like popped out was just like another fun game.
I would definitely say the scenery was better quality.
The graphics.
I mean, obviously because it's where they were set. Japan, beautiful place, trees, flowers. Infamous was always in the city. I like
riding my horse through like the meadows, and it's like a bunch
you use
of red
photo
flowers.
mode. You're a creative person, aren't you?
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really take a lot of photos. I took maybe like
a lot of people.
2.
You did that for their screenshots.
I did it for like achievements. I think there was a couple of like trophies you can get for taking pictures, but other than that,
the trophy system. I usually try to play a lot of games that are like on this style, finish them with all the achievements. PS4 does a really good job on that. They do a lot of cool little things that you can get achievements for. God of War was like that. I have never platinumed the game though. I can safely say I don't think I've ever got the platinum trophy.
Have you ever like wanted to platinum a game, or you just kind of like, do you take games at surface value, or do you kind of go like to the deep, like
God of War,
100% completion?
Try to my best to finish everything.
You didn't do all the side quests? Those are actually kind of fun.
A lot of those games, I do a lot of side quests, but I think Skyrim burnt me out on games that have a lot of side quests. Too many, too long. Witcher couldn't do it. I mean, don't get me wrong. Witcher is one of the best games. A lot of people swear by it. Witcher 3.
I can't get into it. Like, I feel like Witcher 3 is one of those games where like you have so much content like in your face. Like I remember I literally played maybe like an hour or 2 of Witcher. I think I slayed like the first little griffin in like the beginning scene. I was like, okay, this is dope. But like it was so much like literally after that, like you can go this way, you can go that way, and there's like 100 fucking quests this way, 100 fucking quests that way. It's just like I don't even know which fucking way.
But you liked Skyrim, and you put a lot of time into Skyrim.
Skyrim is different. All right?
How's that different?
Because Skyrim gave you like the chance to like. I created my own character like within Skyrim. Like I wasn't the Witcher in Skyrim. Like I was just me, Dragonborn.
That is a big difference.
And you know what I mean? Like it was a bunch of like perks, and so like I can even specialize in like, you know.
The only thing I can say The Witcher did better was their combat system. The combat system in The Witcher was a lot more complex. And I mean, because Skyrim is a very, I look at you, I swing my sword. But the thing is, the dragon shouts and killing dragons was one of the best things they did. Like Bethesda in general, that idea of installing some of the coolest things on fantasy into Skyrim is what really made the game different.
For me, it was like the environment really what threw me in. Like, okay, like the killing and like the swinging of your swords wasn't the prettiest looking, like, but like it did really good job of like just me just walking through the forest, right?
And then like wasn't that bad.
Even just outside the store, just walking through like a forest or just through a plain, it's like shit just comes to you. Like 1 minute you're just walking, then you're getting ambushed in the fucking by the Brotherhood.
What was the strongest dragon you killed?
So you know those dragons that did the little purple dragon shout?
Mm-hmm.
So I fought 2 of those at the same time while being hunted down by the vampire hunters. So it was like, it was just like scenarios like that was just wild. And like Skyrim was like, fuck.
Those games, I enjoy exploring and doing side quests. So I don't really play high difficulty. I've never been a proponent of high difficulty, like games of God of War and Ghost. I'm part of that minor production 1% of people that do not play on the hardest difficulty possible.
So what you're saying is, you're not good at games.
No, I'm mediocre, I would say. I'm mediocre at best. If there's games that I'm good at,
So like when there's like a normal selection, you hit like easy.
no. There's normal mode, I play on normal. If there's something that's a little bit above challenging, I play a little bit above challenging. I've never gone to the highest difficulty from the start.
Why not?
I think the experience for me was I like exploring the complex like gameplay without getting too frustrated. A lot of people like that, getting frustrated but succeeding. And I've done that a couple times. I find enjoyment in it. I just don't like for the first playthrough. Like if it's a game with repeat value, I would repeat it on harder mode. Like I want to soak in the story. I want to be able to progress through the story at a considerable pace without dying every 5 minutes because I suck at the harder version. Even though I'm good at it.
Yeah, I hear that.
I know how to play Ghost of Tsushima. I know how to switch stances. I know how to, do certain not combos, but I'm just not good at staying alive if it's on lethal mode. Yeah, I die too much. I get hit with a lucky strike every 5 minutes, and I'll get mad, and I'll probably stop playing.
What about games that you familiar with, like the Japanese fighters, right? You never just want to kick it up, okay, I've played, I'm sure you've played a lot of games, and they feel very similar. That's why I brought up Sucker Punch, right? I'm sure you played a Sucker Punch game, like Infamous, and even from Infamous 1, Infamous 2, the playstyle was gonna be the same, so you never just want to kick it up, okay.
Honestly, I was conflicted. I almost started on hard mode. I thought about it. It was a deep conversation with myself, thinking I could probably play this on hard mode, and I regret it a little bit because I definitely would have thought the duels would have been more fun if I was on hard mode. The duels were obviously really awesome, and I died a couple times. Don't get me wrong, some of the duels, even though it was on regular, it took me not good. It wasn't like Dark Souls, where it take me 2 hours to kill a boss, and then you feel that rush of adrenaline. I didn't feel God of War did that for me.
Yeah, I feel like Ghost of Tsushima did that for me, but on hard difficulty. I started on hard because I wanted that adrenaline, I just really on hard, I just fucked everybody up. I wanted that who else wants to smoke? That's what I wanted to experience in Ghost of Tsushima, and it felt that completely.
Swag in Ghost of Tsushima.
You mean keep it up any other new games?
I'm thinking about playing Valhalla. I'm eyeing a lot of games. I don't play a lot of the newer games right now. I'm definitely eyeing some games that are coming out from pretty good studios.
So, might as well jump into the first piece of news on that note. So this new game just came out, right? You said you like Japanese games. I know you. You know me. Got this new game coming out with Fairy Tail. Now can you play the first trailer, Adrian? The one in front of it, because I looked at these trailers, and I feel like this is one of the biggest problems with Japanese games or anime games, I should say, because they never give you what the game is really about. Because I'll show you these two trailers, and it'll look like two different games, or what idea you would have a different game. But just play it. We'll watch this. All right. Honestly, you can play it. I think this one's a short one. The audio? Uh-oh. Pause it. Hold on. I'll be right back.
Shawn over here. Yeah, hero. Fucking up. If you ever play anime games on PS4, you know that they can be pretty disappointing. I don't know. Anime games in general. Some of them can be good. I don't really think I enjoy the Warrior series, if anything. Definitely like Dynasty Warrior style, One Piece Pirate Warriors, Fire Emblem Warriors. Games like that, they do okay. Xenoverse 2 is probably by far the best anime video game. Combat in Xenoverse 2 is what I personally enjoy the most. Keyshawn moving around like a back and forth like a squirrel going under things, and he did. Did he fix it? We'll see. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. My timing sucks. There it goes. No? Keyshawn, you had one job. One job only. Would you say you're doing your job
I'll go back to the
satisfactory right
main.
now?
Can you fix that or try to fix that if you can? It's good. All right, sorry about that. I don't know what was up with that, but okay. I'm
We
sorry.
can talk about Fairy Tail though.
You want to talk about Fairy Tail?
Heck yeah.
So-
I'm okay with that.
Are you okay with the anime games as of late? Like, have you seen any new
No.
ones that kind of like pops out to you?
No.
Do you like anime games though?
Ones that do a good job, and there's very few. I can name them on one hand.
I feel
That's
like
sad.
that's a very bad. I feel like that's a bad problem within just games.
If you want to take over the U.S. market, you need to have higher quality games. Because in the Japanese market, anime games, they have exclusive anime games that are only in Japanese that will almost never touch the U.S. market because of that niche place. But
Do you think those games
general,
are better than like the ones that get released to the U.S. or you think they're like of the same quality?
could be. I mean, there's probably better Fairy Tail games over there that we don't know about that are only in Japanese that have really good gameplay and have a better, like, we're getting the turn-based, pick a move with SP.
I feel like we're getting
JRPG.
those because like
Final
those are what's
Fantasy
big though.
style.
Those are what's big and what's working in the Japanese
look,
markets.
but
So I feel
yeah,
like
I
so they
guess you
take
say
that and then
that.
just throw it over here.
They need to experiment. They need to get more creative. I mean, Xenoverse 2 and Ultimate Storm Naruto are the greatest examples of being creative.
I think
and
what needs
using
to
the anime
happen
right.
is I need better publishers or developers to like be willing to take on those licenses. Like, I mean, I know that's gonna be like a lot. I'm asking a lot of like someone like a Sucker Punch or a Naughty Dog to like take like a Naruto's license.
Like
You know what I mean? And then
getting higher quality productions to take gambles on anime games.
right, especially with like the rise of the way things is
Imagine a
going.
One Piece game play like Ghost of Tsushima.
Doesn't that sound great?
Awesome, bro.
Could you imagine like just walking in that
I couldn't
world?
play World Seeker. Too much like Metal Gear. Too slow. Too clunky.
Yeah.
Like
That's the really big problem with anime games. They all kind of feel like this game, like One Hero felt like, or My Hero felt like One Punch Man. Like, you seen those two games, right? The My Hero games and the One Punch Man. I think
we played once.
we played the My Hero game, which it was a decent game for what it was. But then you get another hero, you get another anime game like the One Punch Man game that just released recently. I think as of this year.
Garbage.
It was garbage, but
was.
it looked like My Hero. Like they kind of looked like they used the same engine,
Really?
same system, same mechanics. I mean,
Mm.
tweaked it a little bit to make it more like One Punch Man-y, but more or less the same game.
One Punch Man has I don't know how they missed. How can you mess up that?
It's because I feel like the production value just isn't there. Like the companies that do take on like these roles don't have. Sometimes I feel like they don't even have like a good idea what the anime
So
is.
Bandai Namco did a really good job with the Warrior series. They did a couple of anime Warrior series, like One Piece was pretty popular.
Mhm.
I personally enjoyed One Piece, Pirate Warriors as growing up. Like those are anime games that is in a niche market that were done well, but since they're in a really small market in the US, they didn't gain a lot of traction. Like Warrior games in general, the hack and slash series.
Yeah.
They've done Hyrule Warriors. They did it for Zelda. They did it for One Piece. They did it for other like Fire Emblem, which is one of my favorite Nintendo Switch series, which is also a JRPG. Those were successful, but no one has really made a AAA anime game with money put into it for the graphics, the original combat. A lot of it's just arena fighting, which is fine.
Do you think if someone like a AAA studio, right,
Who would you
take
want?
that gamble?
Sucker Punch?
Look. I feel
Is
like.
there another
Do you
one?
think if someone would take that gamble and take that license and create a game with all this money behind it, you think it would sell a lot? Like,
Very well could.
I feel like that's part of the issue. Like, I feel like these companies don't think that if they make like a Dragon Ball Z game or a Naruto game, it's gonna sell like God of War, right?
Kakarot was with.
That was with CyberConnect,
Okay. What'd you think
which
of that?
they've made.
You played it. I didn't.
I don't fuck with CyberConnect. I already knew that game was gonna be butt.
Really?
I knew that game was gonna be ass cheeks. I was telling everybody as soon as I saw it that they were developers. Don't get it. CyberConnect.
What CyberConnect game have you experienced before that made you say no other game they make is gonna be good?
They've literally made all the Ninja Storm games that I grew up playing.
Ninja Storm Gaiden, huh?
Yeah, Ninja Storm.
not
No,
like
like
it?
Ultimate Ninja Storm.
Was it?
Ultimate Ninja Storm 1, Ultimate Ninja Storm
Naruto.
2. Naruto.
Oh, I thought I was thinking of Gaiden for some reason. Ninja.
No. I know they made a lot of that game, and they were really good. They had
Who's
PS2
for?
titles that was good. That was
what-
CyberConnect 2.
But how'd you know it was gonna be ass if you loved the Storm 4?
I like the game because I'm a Naruto fan. I feel like that's where they
Oh,
take my money
so you-
because they know I'm a Naruto fan, and then they over the course, like the first Storm
that makes sense.
and then the second Storm, you can just see like they literally take things out of the game and expect the same amount of
I
money.
heard Storm 2 or Storm 2 was pretty good, or Storm 3. I used to play
I mean,
it
look,
once or twice.
from people that played the game a lot, like there are like my favorites in there, but like CyberConnect 2, like it's never consistent. Like they're never gonna give you like really what you want. Like they may give you like a Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, right? And they're gonna follow up with maybe like a Dragon Ball Z game, maybe next year or then the year after that.
Fighters
And it's
or
gonna
some
be literally the
card
exact same game. Probably like they twix the fucking the combat system a little
My
bit,
Hero
but
One
it's gonna be the
Justice.
exact same game.
Too.
Exactly.
Same thing. Blizzard's doing that too with Overwatch. How sad is that?
Overwatch has been out for a very long time, though. So like,
But I'm talking about
I feel like just them trying to breathe
making
fresh air
a
is
new
different.
game,
Mhm.
but not putting much into it and selling it to you again. My Hero One Justice 2 was like you felt the same way, right?
That's different. That's
How's
like
that different then?
because I'm talking about like the mechanics from like My Hero, right? Like it's not.
Not. It's the same. Will these be think it would be the same? Like it's just
How can I put this?
they're making the same game with the same characters, but just adding new characters and then selling it to you again, with some tweaks, like they could have done with updates. You talked about this already. You said
This
this.
man trying to expose me on my own
Heck
podcast.
yes.
No, it's different though because that game, I feel like longevity wise, like I feel like if they were to release a new game with a new netcode, they could release a lot more, maybe even modes into the game. Overwatch, yeah.
Yeah. Blizzard.
Where something like
Blizzard's a better company than some of the games that are making. Anime
First of all,
games.
Blizzard's gonna invest more into the game as far as longevity wise than someone would into like My Hero. That's why those games
That's very
died quick.
true.
So it's like
It's very, very true.
even if like if you aren't gonna invest into the games of the community you're trying to reap in this money from, at least like make a good game.
Okay, I have a question for you now, and so Sucker Punch is one. If you were to pick any gaming studio, which gaming studio, which anime, and what studio would you want to make it? You only get one. You get one chance. Comes out 2021.
I'm not gonna lie to you, Square Enix has my heart.
Square Enix.
Square Enix has my heart.
Final Fantasy 7.
Yeah.
You wanted One Piece. You want not just a One Piece game, but any anime game that's played in that style.
Final Fantasy. Nah, I don't want it in Final Fantasy 7. I want something just uniquely to that anime. Like I don't want.
But Square Enix does a very good job.
Yeah,
with
I
things.
just want them behind that. I don't want something that feels like another game. That's what I
Mm.
don't want to feel like. I don't want to play like
I'm blanking right now.
My
so you
Hero
need
when
to
it feels
help
like
me.
Final Fantasy. Blanking on what?
I love God of War, and I gotta remember the name of their studio. I know it's not Rockstar. I know Cory Balrog is the producer, or the creative producer, but which studio is God of War? Whatever that studio is called,
Yeah.
anime game with that, 100%. That was by far for me the best gameplay, creativity wise. You know, Sucker Punch is very close, but God of War.
So you'd want Sony Santa Monica to take that?
Yes. Sony
Okay.
Santa Monica. Santa Monica Studios
Yeah.
is a great studio. They do it right.
make like
I wouldn't. There's ones I don't want. I do not want Bethesda to make one.
yeah.
Don't
Don't
Bethesda,
touch
don't
it.
touch it.
I don't want.
Don't do not go anywhere near it. You have failed. You do not have my trust. EA. I mean, I think they are.
That's the publisher, but like I still don't even want EA even being the publisher. Like I don't want like the rights to be
EA
sold to EA, any EA company damn near, except Respawn maybe. But
Yeah,
like
Respawn's okay.
Respawn, they made like the last Fallen Order, Jedi Fallen Order. It's fun. You didn't like it?
Not for me. I was hoping it was gonna be like God of War, but
Real quick. Lumpy Toaster, he was he chimed in saying like why when I asked like why don't like companies, AAA companies take these anime games, he was like, there is no demand for that kind of game. That's why. Do you think there's any demand for anime games?
I think it's so spread out. Like the communities all over the place are like they're strong. They like anime games. We like that's the thing is that's why it's only PS4 exclusive. Think about it.
I feel
why wouldn't an anime game be good on 2 different consoles?
I mean, they released like My Hero or Naruto not Naruto. Naruto, it was on Xbox actually. So like they've been on like dual console, even on PC. Even I think you can get a Stormgate on PC.
There was a demand before. Dragon Ball had.
I feel like there still is a demand. I just don't think they don't want to take that risk because otherwise, like we wouldn't be keep getting these games because it's not like these games aren't selling numbers. I mean, these communities like these franchises, right? You'll get like a Dragon Ball or you get like a Naruto Storm 1, then you'll have all the way through Storm 4, right? Like these, it's not like they're not making money with these games. They just don't see how they can make a lot more money. And if Ubisoft has made a Naruto game, which was probably one of my favorites. They had like the Rise of a Ninja game and the Broken Bond game.
I heard of those rules were really
definitely
good.
Probably one of the most well thought out, probably fun experience that really gave me the feel that Naruto was actually like I was actually in the Naruto universe. Only had that experience with like that Ubisoft game.
You know what it is to me? I think the anime market hasn't touched the hearts of a lot of the gamers in general because of the quality has been so low. Lately,
but I feel like the anime,
and I think that's why the demand has went down.
But I feel like in society, like the anime culture, even the superhero cultures, is rising so much that like I feel like if you were as a AAA company to take advantage of or making like an Avengers game, like if Sony Santa Monica made like a Spider-Man game or like a Iron Man or even a Captain American game, like that game would probably like sell through the roof.
But that's Marvel though. Of course, Marvel's everywhere. Anime, yeah, anime is here.
To that, I'm just saying to that point, like anime is everywhere too. Like you can get anime. Artists are talking about anime. Like it's almost becoming like a common thing now. It's not weird.
I mean, that's why people are starting to be more active and almost doing more stuff in anime in our YouTube. The community's starting to get bigger.
Fuck you, Cheeks. Go ahead. Sorry. No, he said anime is for weebs. I had to, just.
You know what?
Put that on the face right there.
Because
I agree.
Here's the thing.
Thanks for that intro.
I am a late bloom. I'm late into anime. Yeah. I would say I wasn't into anime when I was younger. I'm a transitioner. What I would say is at first I was a jock. Played all sports. Did not play I did not consume anything that was anime or weeb like. Because I can agree with that. I understand it would make people uncomfortable. It makes people don't like it. They don't like the animation style. They find it weird. They have sometimes the plots are a little out there. I wouldn't show some people some certain animes.
But I mean, I feel like you can say that with like genres like sci-fi, right? Like sci-fi.
Yeah. See, I'm not a big fan, but I dig.
But you get big budget sci-fi films, right?
Mm-hmm. I think it's a lot of it. It's based on how we grow up. I mean, that's it. People didn't.
I mean, shit, you can say that about a lot of different topics, honestly.
I agree, but the thing is, anime, like, I have friends who don't like anime, and I have friends who do like anime. Mm-hmm. So I can respect when someone says anime. I just can't understand it. I can't get into it. I don't like the way they do things. I don't like the plot. I don't like the animation, stuff like that. Some people just have that preference. I mean, you don't have to, think it's. Everyone has their own preferences for me, I think.
Everyone does have their own preference. You
can't speak English.
I can't. Speaking of anime, right? Like, how do you feel about next piece of news? Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell are they going to get an animated anime series? It's
so interesting because now you're going to new territory on making something that's been American into an anime style game.
How do you feel about American-made anime? Maybe that's a better question for you.
The only one that you showed me was Space Dandy. Am I correct?
Supposed Space Dandy American made?
I think it was American. I'm pretty sure Space Dandy was American.
Now you got me feeling type of way. I'm sure I thought Aniplex produced that.
I'm pretty sure something. I remember someone saying Space Dandy was.
I thought
American.
Now
Cowboy Bebop is not American.
Cowboy Bebop's not American. No. But I think it's the same company.
It could be.
I think.
But that was more geared towards America.
Yeah, so anime like Baki, right, or Castlevania, or.
But Baki's also. Is Baki American made too? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I could see the style. I could see the differences. And I think it's...
Does it bother you?
At some point, it started to. Yeah. Like, they started pushing out Kengan and Levias and all those 3D animation. I think Baki's the best one. I enjoy Baki. But Castlevania is probably number one in terms of American-made animation style being the most popular in Netflix. I think so. Japanese is better.
So do you
Higher
feel
quality.
like this Splinter Cell thing is gonna be like good?
Is this an anime adaptation? Like I thought it was.
Yeah. So look, Splinter Cell gets an anime adaptation. Yes.
Mhm.
They haven't announced which like studio is gonna be producing this.
Is it gonna be in English?
I'm sure it's gonna be a dubbed version.
I think, but is it gonna be like Castlevania where it's English audio first?
Probably. Most, especially since
What
it's being an
studio?
American game, right? They haven't announced a studio. Would you want it to be an American studio, or would you want it to be like a Japanese, like UFO table type studio?
I think Tom Clancy would do a good job. Who would do a good job? Whoever made Jormungandr.
Jormungand?
Jormungand. Whoever made Jormungand, whoever made Black Lagoon. I think that would be perfect for Tom Clancy.
Because Adrian, can you look up the studio who created the anime Black Lagoon? Go ahead.
Because that's perfect. Because it's in that army, guns. They did a good
So you
job
feel like because they have experience with anime
those
shows
types
like that?
of things. I think if you were to pick a Japanese one, it would be that. Like if someone were to take that. But if you're talking about here, you gotta prove it. I need to. Once you pick an American-made company, I'm gonna 100% have to see your previous work.
You said Black Lagoon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Black Lagoon.
Is it a game or?
That's
It's
anime.
anime.
Okay.
I just want to know who the
It's not
author?
Aniplex.
Or is it the publisher? Who are you talking about? What are you looking for?
the studio. I guess I'm looking for a producer.
Tom Clancy is the I forget the main. It's the what's the main guy's name? The agent.
Of Tom Clancy.
Yeah, Jack something.
Let's see. I don't play Tom Clancy. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Is there any of the viewers that play Tom Clancy?
Viewers, if you play Tom Clancy, drop it up in the chat,
Says
baby.
Madhouse.
Ooh, Madhouse. What's other ones that they've made? They must have a list.
What was it?
We just found out who made Black Lagoon, and I'm wondering if
Madhouse.
Madhouse. And now we got.
I got Wicked City, Ninja Scroll, Perfect Blue, Vampire Hunter, D.
Oh, Vampire Hunter D. I heard about that. That's okay.
Death Note, Paprika.
Oh, they made Death Note.
Yeah,
Wolf
Madhouse
Children,
makes Death Note. They made like Death
Parasite.
Parade,
Parasite.
And they made the first season of One Punch Man.
Oh,
I didn't know that.
So, would you want? I mean,
That makes sense. 'cause
I don't think they're
season one
American.
was
I think
pretty
that's a Japanese company.
good. They are.
I think their studios like headquarters based in Japanese.
in Tokyo.
Yep.
I'm telling you, man. I
So-
don't know if America can do it. If they,
They're not, but like if it would have to be someone who produced that Castlevania, or I don't even know if I want like the graphic style from like a Baki,
you ever seen Seis
or even like
Manos?
you seen the Ruby, not Ruby, red white, RWBY.
That's Ruby.
Is it Ruby?
That's Rooster Teeth.
Rooster Teeth. Like
They could.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I can't
man.
get
It's
into
a little
that.
That's a little more digital animation though.
Hey,
That's
Adrian, can you raise our volume up a little bit? People are saying they can't hear us. Go ahead.
I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I would like Madhouse, Black Lagoon, whoever made Jormungand. I don't know. I can't remember who made Jormungand, but that was a very good army set in like this war style.
Yeah.
Whoever takes over that, Tom Clancy. Once it gets announced, I'm gonna watch your previous work, and it better be good, or you're gonna fail, like miserably. I mean, look.
All right, Freddy. My bad.
Go ahead.
I didn't want to cut you off. So I don't know if you've heard, but coming into next gen, that they're gonna raise the prices on games. So it's gonna be from $60 bucks to $70 bucks, right? And I have this article here. Take-Two CEO. What's my man's name? His name is Strauss Zelnick. He defended the price point because he's selling NBA 2K21. So there's a $60 version for like.
Is there?
Yeah. So the
I
$60
thought it was
version.
only gonna be 70.
No, because on the Xbox Next Gen, there's what's called Smart Delivery. So you're able to play it on Xbox One and the Xbox Series X, and you can get the same game. So all the Series X games you can still play on Xbox One.
True.
Right. So he's defending the price point that the $70 is great because he says, and I quote, he says that the price reflects the quality of the experience,
Mm-hmm.
which I'm assuming he's talking about, next gen, you're going to get the better frame rate, you're going to get the graphic boost, ray tracing, all that jazz, all the bells and whistles, right? All whatever comes with. He argues, there hasn't been a price increase on the front lines for a long time, despite how much it costs to deal with more, or how much a great cost it takes to make those titles. He says, we think with the value we offer consumers and the kind of experience, you can really only have one of these next generation consoles, and the price is justified. So he's saying, because of this quality experience, that $70 new price threshold is what is going to be justifiable by the game experience.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
What are your thoughts on this?
Look, it wasn't that long ago. Phil Spencer himself, which I believe, I forgot his position on fucking Microsoft, but he works for Microsoft. He's really high up. Head of Xbox, right?
Head of Xbox, yeah.
That's what I said. That's why I like you. He said a couple weeks ago, he was like, look, he said, look, just look at Windows. I'm gonna read the quote. Look at Windows. It's almost certain if the developer is building a Windows version of their game, then the most powerful and highest fidelity version is the PC version. Okay, so he just admits, right? There's obviously a difference if you get the game on your console versus getting the game on your PC, right? That's obviously that's a no-brainer, right? Everyone knows that.
PC always has higher quality.
He says, that's like I said. So you can even see with some of our first-party console games going to PC, even from our competitors, with the richest version of the PC version. Yet the PC ecosystem is the most diverse when it comes to hardware. When you think about the CPUs and the GPUs from years ago that are there.
Does that quantify raising the price though?
Yeah, he was
just
saying
stating facts that PC people.
But he said that and saying that there isn't going to be an experience or you're not going to have a different experience. The game's not going to be a held back because it's on Xbox One.
Are they saying that the Xbox One Series X and the PlayStation 5 are going to have higher quality games than
no, I
some
mean,
people can
you
make
could
on
of course
CPU?
experience better quality as far as I'm sure
So
rendering and frame rate, but he's saying that
And
as
loading
far as
time.
the version of the game, as far as you playing on your Series X and you playing on your Xbox One, I feel like he's saying
There's
that
be a difference.
there's not going to be
That
a
big
big difference.
There's not going to be a big difference.
Yes,
If
but then
that's the
2K
problem-
is saying that they're raising the price because you are going to get a big difference. So who's lying?
I don't know.
Who's lying to me?
I think we all know who's lying.
Who's lying, Adrian?
I mean, publishers, right? I mean, they want all the money.
So you think Take-Two's lying right now?
100%. I mean, maybe not necessarily lying, but I mean,
So, but how? So the thing is, they're both
You're
they're
stretching the
both
truth.
protecting, they're both defending the
The price.
price that it should be, but for two different reasons.
The reasons are almost, I feel, are countering each other. Because
Mm.
Phil Spencer's saying oh no, it's not gonna be the Xbox Series isn't gonna, or the Xbox One is gonna
So
be holding
how's
back
it,
these.
why is he justifying then? Is because it's gonna be on.
It's
the
gonna
next
be
gen?
better quality and a better experience entirely, which is why you're gonna get the $10 raise.
Mm-hmm.
But Phil Spencer is saying that no, your Xbox One, your $60 version is gonna feel just like your $70 version. Who's lying?
I want to see the hard facts. I need to see the money it's going to take, the higher quality equipment that they're saying they're using to take away loading time, the pricing on that. Because at that point, you got to respect the business needs to make money, and the video games market has taken a deep hit.
Okay, that's hardware though. I mean, that's from Xbox.
Mhm.
Xbox is doing the work as far as getting your loading speeds up, right? We're putting all that into the Xbox,
Mm-hmm.
so it's
But
what
it's
is-
a
Yeah, but
cooperation.
the point is like Adrian said, Take-Two got to be lying because obviously you're gonna get that boost in GPU, the
Mhm.
boost in loading times,
Mhm.
those are all
So
console hardware
you think
things.
that should just be the since we're upgrading, we shouldn't. It's just us moving on to a new
price threshold.
a price start. Well, I'm a proponent of thinking that companies and
Mhm.
gaming studios need to make more money, and they
Right.
need to be able to put more money into their games. And if increasing it to 70, and we notice and we're gaining something that is infinitely better than a PS4, I can see where they're coming from. Because if we're gonna get games that have almost no loading time at all, and if we play it on the PS4 and there is loading time, and then you play on the PS5 and there is no loading time, and the quality graphics is better and the game feels different. If they give us not a guarantee but proof that the game is going to be better but it costs more to do it, and we're moving forward because we're going to be able to give you better games. I mean, I might be willing to shed, like, if Ghost of Tsushima on PS5, if they did not make it on PS4, they made it on PS5, and it was $70, and we got an even better experience than we had just now, I'm willing to pay $70 to play Ghost of Tsushima.
Look, if they're going to be raising this price on me, I need this game to be the best experience for the next $10. Like, whether it's just me giving a better experience from just the controller itself, like I better be using like every fucking button on my controller.
A controller
I better
be
fucking
is worth as much as a game. A PS4 controller is worth $50-$60.
Yeah. So if they're gonna jack the price up on these games and claim like I'm supposed to be getting a better experience, right? I better be using every button on this controller, right? I better be able to understand everything on my screen. Everything better be like lightning quick, damn near. Like I need like all that to be like.
They need to show it, and they need to show it to the consumer. You can't just hide like we've seen. The thing is, we have seen the system, we have seen the changes in the controller and the changes in, making two different systems, one digitally and one with disc, which is very interesting. One cheaper than the other.
Yeah.
Right. So we're seeing advancement. Like Xbox 360 to Xbox One was massive. You can say that the jump from Xbox One from Xbox 360 is infinitely better in terms of quality of game. Am I right?
Well, sir, I mean, I would assume so, but I jumped onto the PS4 train.
I did, me too. But games goes both ways. I played both PS3 and Xbox 360, PS4 and Xbox One.
Yeah.
Personally, I like the PS4 better because all the games that I enjoy are on it. But for Xbox One, if the Xbox One Scarlet or whatever the hell this new gaming system is called.
What'd you call it? What'd you say it was going to be called, Adrian? The new one that may be coming out? Like
it's not X.
Project Lockhart?
Project Lockhart.
That's what it's called?
That's the version that they may be making.
Supposedly.
Because they stopped selling the Xbox One X.
PS5 is making God of War 5. And my expectation on God of War 5, that game...
Freddy got God of War 5 in his back pocket.
Oh, hell yeah. That is the game of the decade if they get that right and they hit it and out of the park on PS5. Like if they hit God of War 5 out the park, I'm on PS5 all the way. There's no doubting it. I would pay $70 for God of War 5 if the price point jacked up, and when I got the game for $70, the game was worth like $200. $200. Because the thing is, like, think of The Witcher. And think of Skyrim and those games. You pay $60, but you're getting 300 hours worth of content.
Is that what you like in games? Like you like?
Yes and no. It needs to be done right. Like
God of War
was the perfect amount for me.
Okay.
I paid $60 and I put in maybe 40, 50, 60 hours and enjoyed every minute of that game.
So you want the PS5 in hopes for the God of War to come out? Anything from Xbox? Halo Infinite?
No.
Popping out to you?
No.
All right, so I'm gonna jump into the next piece of news on that note. So, did you see the trailer
for Halo
Infinite? I wouldn't even say the trailer, but like the little thing they had.
And no. I've saw a screenshot picture of Halo Infinite, and my roommate.
What was your reaction to it? Yep.
I haven't talked to him about Halo Infinite, but I was living with him when he was playing Halo 5.
Yeah.
Or heavily disappointed in the game.
Disappointed in Halo Infinite?
No,
or Halo 5?
The most recent Halo game that came out with the story, he was supremely disappointed in how it felt like a Call of Duty, almost like trying to feel like a Call of Duty game, and he didn't like this. I don't think he was super impressed with where the story went. So I know Halo. I know the story about Halo. I've seen people play Halo. And I understand that it's iconic.
Mm-hmm.
It's legendary. It's a game that has been going on for decades. Like maybe 15 years almost.
It's been around for quite some time.
Quite some time now. And they did a Game of Thrones.
They did a Game of Thrones.
The game just sucked.
Oh.
That's what I heard. And
that hurt me. I like Game of Thrones.
Tell me if Halo 5 was what everyone wanted out of the first 4 Halos, which I heard were legendary games, and then Halo 5 comes around.
Yeah. in his butt.
And his butt. Can you say Halo 5 is butt?
I never played Halo 5, but I'm sure it was butt. So Halo Infinite, right? They announced this during the last Xbox conference, and people they have a lot of backlash and flack on it because it looked visually really bad.
Did it?
Yeah. So they played like a little gameplay trailer. Like it looked like maybe like Halo 3. Like,
did it?
Graphically, yeah. And I didn't expect it to be like the most amazing thing, but like they broadcast and they hyped
it though.
Yeah, they hyped it up the whole time.
It's
like
Bungie,
you can
right?
expect, it's 343.
343.
Yeah, which is kind of like a Bungie sub studio, but they hyped it up. Like they kept saying, "Oh, Halo 5's or Halo Infinite's looking really good. Halo Infinite's looking like that." And then the developers, right? They responded because of this. They said, he wants fans to know that their concerns are not falling on deaf ears. Right, talking about like the gameplay, how it looked, the concerns they had. Right, so he said the series criticized since 342 took over Bungie, both for what some players think. Lackluster campaign modes and multiplayers that seem to lack its own identity. Dan Choice, which is a narrative experience director, he made a quote saying, "I've been in your shoes," talking about people that don't like the game, right? "I know what it's like to have expectations built and feel let down. I want you to know your voices matter and is heard. You're not falling on deaf ears. I want to live up to the legacy that Bungie pioneered. I personally care a lot about honoring that." I mean, like, it's cool he wants to change the game, okay. But I've been having like this debate with Mikey. He's not here, right? And we have going back and forth on like people feeling like the sense of entitlement to a game. Like, I know you heard about how like people didn't like Sonic, right? The first design, like people like complained on Twitter and like they went back and they changed it and like it looked good. Great. Do you feel like there's a cutoff point where it's like, okay, like as a gamer, like do you feel like you have the right to say like,
how about this?